Title: After my wife's trip, I found stains that weren't mine, and the truth nearly killed her. I never thought I'd be the kind of man who sat in silence, clutching a piece of clothing like it carried the weight of the world. But there I was, staring at her blouse, my fingers frozen around a pale smear that didn't come from me. A mark she hadn't meant for me to find. A mark that spoke louder than words. My chest wanted to believe there was some harmless explanation, but my head already knew better. My wife had crossed a line I couldn't ignore. The only question was, how far had she gone? We had been married for 7 years. I won't pretend I was flawless, but I was steady, faithful, and devoted. I trusted her excuses, the late nights, the constant business trips, the way she smiled and told me it was all for us. I poured my time, my savings, my loyalty into our marriage. In return, she gave me warmth, companionship, and what I thought was honesty. That illusion died the moment I pulled that blouse from the laundry basket. I didn't confront her, not yet. Rage would have been too easy, too shallow. I needed certainty. Proof. So I carried it to a lab. Days later, the results came back, heavier than I was ready for. The stain belonged to another man, and worse, it carried a disease. A terminal one. My wife was dying, and she didn't even know it. Strangely enough, the only person who could warn her was me. At first, instinct told me to save her. Despite the betrayal, part of me wanted to protect her life. But then I found what she had hidden. Videos buried deep in her laptop disguised as work files. Dozens of them. Her with him. Her with others. Her laughing at me in between, mocking me, calling me worthless, saying I'd never know. That was the night I changed. I wasn't just her husband anymore. I became something else. By daylight, I played the fool, smiling, nodding, pretending nothing had changed. By night, I built her downfall. It started with information. Her accounts. Her passwords. Every receipt, every message, every video copied and stored. I wired the house with cameras, not because I needed proof. I already had more than enough, but because I wanted her lies documented beyond denial. Once the foundation was ready, I began moving the pieces. The joint savings shifted into my name. The deed to our home rewritten. Her credit cards maxed out with charges she hadn't made, each carefully planted. She was too busy sneaking away to notice the walls closing in. Then came the night of reckoning. Our anniversary. She expected romance. I gave her truth. I invited her family, her closest friends, even colleagues she admired. After dinner, I raised a glass, dimmed the lights, and let the projector do the talking. The room filled with sounds no one should ever hear. The laughter she saved for her lovers, the moans, the insults she whispered about me. Faces turned pale. Her mother sobbed. Friends stared in disbelief. My wife scrambled to shut it off, trembling, but every frame burned into the room like fire. When she tried to scream at me, I handed her a folder. Inside, the lab results. The disease she carried. The silent death sentence she had gifted herself. The crowd gasped. She crumpled in her chair, trembling, understanding that I hadn't just unmasked her. I had stripped her bare. I wasn't finished. Calmly, I told her the divorce papers had already been filed, the assets secured, the house transferred, the debts left in her name. Everything was legal. Everything airtight. She had no defense left. The room went still. She stared at me with desperate eyes, whispering, "Why didn't you warn me?" I leaned close enough for only her to hear. "Because you dug your own grave the moment you mocked me." Her face collapsed into despair. She walked out that night with nothing but a bag of clothes and the weight of her shame. The man she had risked everything for vanished. Her family turned their backs. Her job suspended her. And me? I felt no guilt. Only release. Now when I sit in silence, I replay every moment. Not with regret, but with satisfaction. She thought she was in control. She thought I was blind. But I had been watching the entire time, waiting. And when the moment came, I delivered justice. I didn't bury her. She had been holding the shovel all along. I only made sure the world was there to watch her fall.